Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to the Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny,
And I'm Mayuri.
and this is our podcast. So today we want to introduce you to the Not the Droids podcast, as we are a new podcast coming at you underneath the Creating Magic Network. So if you have followed Creating Magic, you will recognize me as Danny or at Mandrakes and Mischief. And Paula is still doing Creating Magic. However, we have decided to dive into the Star Wars universe, so we are bringing our good friend Mayuri along with us.
Yeah. So, like Danny said, my name's Mayuri. Some of you might know me from Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Mercurial Conjurer. And those who don't know me from Instagram but are still in the Potter sphere may remember me as Lego Draco at last year's LeakyCon.
Yes, Lego Draco was pretty epic.
Yes, I still have a small reminder of Lego Draco just here in the background. The helmet hair will never die.
So we are known a lot for other fandoms, but we both enjoy Star Wars. So this podcast is going to be a chronological in-universe Star Wars podcast.
So our current exceptions are when Disney Plus is airing a new series, we'll be taking a break to be able to recap and react to them, and then we'll be going back to our chronological rewatch of Star Wars content.
Minus a few holidays in there, because, sometimes you just got to celebrate.
One of the things that I'm very excited about is that I'm actually a newer Star Wars fan. Some people may not know. I knew of Star Wars and I watched them as they came out when I was in high school. So I believe those were episodes 1, 2, and 3. But recently in the pandemic, I was really excited about The Mandalorian. So I committed to watching all of the Star Wars movies. And that's when I really got the bug, started loving it. I really enjoyed the one-off movies that they did, Rogue One and Solo. And so it really got me into the shows.
I have, if you've ever seen any of my other stuff, I'm a fan of fandoms. I love all the things. I've always been, some people aren't gonna like this. I've always been a Star Trek and Star Wars fan. I like both. Which one I like better, I'm not revealing that. That is for off. I know I have one. I can make that choice, but I'm not going to share that choice. So, which is acceptable because we're allowed to
Is it
have
too controversial?
People might not agree. So we're gonna keep that one just for me, at least for now. But I grew up watching the originals, and I remember taking my brother because he's 5 years younger than me, so he would have probably been like 9 or 10 to the movies for his birthday to see 1, 2, and 3. Because my mom worked in the mall, in the movie theater at a mall, so we were allowed to go to the movies by ourselves because she was in the building with us. So I would take my brother while my mom was working. And so we saw those movies. One thing about me, and part of that is where the name of this podcast came from, I love the droids. Droids are my favorite. All my Legos are droids. My favorite droid, I like Chopper. I love Dio. Dio does not have enough screen time. I love a socially awkward droid. Relate to a socially awkward droid. And our favorite droids may change throughout the episodes. So, Mayuri, do you currently have a favorite droid?
Yes. So as I mentioned before, I've only really seen the movies maybe 1 or 2 times, but currently we love an activist. So L337 from Solo is my favorite droid. Not only was she hilarious, but I have a best friend who's big in activism, and somehow I was watching that movie and I was like, that's her. That's my friend right there. So yes, currently that is my favorite droid. I feel like droids are easier to have a favorite, pay attention to. Characters for me, I don't have a favorite character right now.
Yet.
Not yet. If I had to pick someone I enjoy seeing on screen, I do enjoy the moodiness of Kylo Ren. It tracks,
Tracks. Tracks.
Draco Malfoy is my favorite Potter character, and I feel the same energy from Kylo Ren slash Ben Solo, like it's there. But who's your favorite?
I love Ahsoka. I'm a big Ahsoka fan. I'm a big Ashley Eckstein fan, so that also falls into that. I love Rey Skywalker too, which I know is controversial for some. But I love Rey. I'll stick with those right now.
Yeah, so we're there on opposite sides of the Force, I guess.
Ooh, we'll see if we stay that way. One of the things we will address is that we do understand the Star Wars community has some negativity in it, some toxicity in it. And for us, that is constructive conversations are welcome here. Negativity is not. It's fine if you don't like a thing, but if you don't like a thing just to not like the thing, that doesn't belong in this community. That's not who we are. We do follow under creating magic, and one of the things with creating magic is that our goal is to always be a positive and safe space, and that extends to the Not the Droids pod. Is that we were always going to be that positive and safe space of a community to enjoy the things we love. So any negativity attacking, we're not going to deal with it. It's not going to be part of this community.
I love that and appreciate that because I know that there are a lot of strong feelings, especially since we love the new Star Wars movies. That was something I was new to. I'm really big on like watching TikTok and stuff, and it kind of surprised me after I saw the movies. I think I commented once that my favorite movie was Rogue One, and I got a lot of comments back for that, and it didn't feel safe. So I'm really excited about this kind of being like a nice, happy space to express our
And
opinions.
and we're not saying that everything's going to be happy and all, but if you don't like something, we want to know your reasons behind it. Like there was like The Acolyte is the perfect example. There was a lot of stuff that went on when that just got canceled and people were like, it deserved to be canceled. If there's something that you don't like, give us the reasons why, but don't do it in a way that you're bullying someone. Don't go attacking people because they like something you don't like.
Yeah,
Like everything has just, we're open for debate, we're not open for hate. I think that's what it
that's
comes down to.
perfectly said, I think.
So Mayuri, what episodes are we starting with?
So we're gonna start, since it's chronological, we're gonna start with Young Jedi Adventures. Um, so that includes the shorts before each season. And I believe that our first episode will be on the 6 shorts before season 1.
Yes. And each month on the podcast page, which is at Not the Droids Pod on Instagram, you can find the list of what we will be releasing that month. So you can follow along with the episodes with us, join us in conversation. We will be getting a Discord up so that you can have conversations. We're slowly setting that up because we're going to try to do it in a way where it's separated out per episode so that there's no spoilers. Because that's a big thing is like we're watching them chronologically based on what we know at that time. We're not going to really dive into spoilers for future items
And
until
in
we
some
get there.
cases, it's perfect to be spoiler free because there's actually a lot of TV content that
Yes.
I have not seen, and even some of the older specials and things like that. So I think it'll be really great for people who haven't really delved into Star Wars or are just peripheral watchers to like really follow along and engage with other people.
And if there are spoilers, we will always try to share that as best we can, but we're going to try our best to avoid spoilers because some of this will be a first time watch, some of it won't. Others, it's just like you have inherited the knowledge just from pop culture because the series, shows, movies have been around for a long time.
I always laugh because actually most of what I know from Star Wars before I watched the movies a few years ago came from Spaceballs. because I didn't watch Star Wars, but I watched Spaceballs. And so I was like, this is really funny. I wonder what the real movies are like.
Well, you're gonna find out.
So one of the things that we are really excited about is this is open for everyone who's interested. So if you are passionate about a specific show, episode, movie, definitely reach out to us at notthedroidspod@gmail.com or on the Discord once it's set up, because we are happy to have guests on so that we can react and discuss the shows and movies as we're going through the rewatch.
Yes, you can also DM us on Instagram. We will post all of the places that you can contact us on the Instagram page, so you can find those. We'll be releasing video podcasts on YouTube, and we will have audio on all your podcast platforms. So keep an eye out for that. And if you are a big fan of The Acolyte, we are looking for those guests now. So for the Young Jedi Adventures, we are not going to have any guests just because it is us kicking off, and we're working on batching those episodes before the holidays and getting ready for Skeleton Crew. So if you want to be a guest on any of the Acolyte episodes, and if you have specific episodes, please mention which one. And if you are interested and available the day it drops, there's a big if on that one, because we are going to watch it and record the evening that Skeleton Crew drops. So, Mary, how often are we going to have podcast episodes?
So we are planning on posting episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Um, Basically, we'll be going through 1 or 2 episodes per episode,
Depending on the show, because some of those
depending on the
episodes are long.
show. Yeah, so we're trying to make it easy and accessible for people to watch along with us. So there's probably going to be about one of the longer form episodes, two of the shorter form episodes per podcast episode. And then once we hit Skeleton Crew, we'll be posting a reaction video the night that it airs. And then instead of doing an episode of Young Jedi Adventures for the Thursday episode, we'll actually do a deeper dive into how we feel, kind of our second time watch reactions.
Once
If
we've
we have any,
digested it.
yeah, once we've digested it, and if we have some guests on, like what their takes on, and kind of just like having a little bit of a roundtable discussion on how we feel going into the next episode.
Yeah, so make sure to follow us, like, subscribe, all those things you do on the socials nowadays. And then you can follow us individually. Once again, I am at Mandrakes and Mischief.
I'm at Mercurial Conjurer.
So keep tracking all of our socials for updates. And remember, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get.